The God who made the heavens and the earth is a God who loves new beginnings. So, take a deep breath. Let go of yesterday. Embrace this day. Lift up your heart. And let's find God right here, right now. I'm recording this at the beginning of the new day for a reason. Today, all of us in the fellowship of the withered hand, all of us who find some area in our life when we're not able to do or become what we most deeply want, but we know that God can, and we're trying to let Him. Today we get the day off. We're walking through Genesis, and at the moment we're looking at the third chapter, this amazing, psychologically, spiritually, incredibly deep exploration of how the mind works and how temptation works. How do we end up on wrong paths, and how do we learn to find God and redemption in the midst of it? It's very challenging, very heavy, extremely helpful. We're going back to it. But today we're going to pause just for joy. Because we need joy in this troubled old world. I don't know about you. I know I do. I know that there are moments of sadness. I don't have to talk about details, but that's not all of life, but it's a deep part of life. And so we pause to remember that the world existence, life began in great goodness, and it will be consummated in great goodness. I was reading this last week about the Big Bang, what had happened. This is quite amazing. Just try to imagine if you were there seeing the universe when it came into existence. When the universe was 1/100th of a billionth of a trillionth of a trillionth of a second old, it doubled in size 90 times in the space of that sliver of time, far, far, far too small to be even named. Imagine that you were looking at that. What an amazing thing that is. But what we remember this morning is not just how that it happened, but how good it is that it happened. I don't know if you have ever just stopped to say, thank you, God, that there is this universe. Thank you, God, that there is this beauty. Thank you, God, that there is life, that there are birds singing right now. In the book of Genesis, that first chapter, a lot of writers will talk about this, is essentially a kind of poetry. You'll notice that each stanza begins, and God said. In the New International Version, I actually pull those phrases out to help us to see that it's written in that way with a kind of a meter to it. And they end, and there was evening and there was morning, the first day and the second day. And then, of course, over and over again, that little phrase, God saw that it was good, and then the song climaxes, and it was very good. And lots of folks, the writer of Job, J.R.R. Tolkien, Calvin Miller will write about God as a singer, that God is singing creation into existence because there's so much beauty to it. And one of the best passages about this, my pal Tim Williams was telling me, is in C.S. Lewis's book, The Magician's Nephew, in the Narnia Chronicles. And so I thought today I would read this. It's kind of an extended version, and you might just think now about what was God experiencing when He created? And how good is it that there is a universe? It's not an accident. In that book, several people from our world, including 2 children, get to witness the creation then of Narnia. The idea is the creation of all things. In the darkness, something was happening at last. A voice had begun to sing. The most beautiful noise he had ever heard, so beautiful he could hardly bear it. Then 2 wonders happened at the same moment. One was that the voice was suddenly joined by other voices, more voices than you could possibly count, and they were in harmony with it. Job, it says that the morning stars sang together when they were created. But far higher up on the scale, cold, tingling, silvery voices. The second wonder was that blackness overhead all at once was blazing with stars. They didn't come out gently one by one as they do on a summer evening. One moment there had been nothing but darkness. Next moment, 1,000 points of light leaped out. If you had seen it and heard it, you would have felt quite certain that it was the stars themselves that were singing. And it was the first voice, the deep one, that had made them appear and made them sing. The voice on the earth was now louder and more triumphant. But the voices in the sky, after singing loudly with it for a time, began to get fainter. Far away, down near the horizon, the sky began to turn gray. A light wind, very fresh, began to stir. The sky in that one place grew slowly and steadily paler. You could see the shapes of hills standing up dark against it. All the time the voice went on singing. The eastern sky changed from white to pink and from pink to gold, and the voice rose and rose till all the air was shaking with it. And just as it swelled to the mightiest and most glorious sound it had yet produced, the sun arose. The earth was of many colors, fresh, hot, vivid. They made you feel excited until you saw the singer himself. And then you forgot everything else. It was a lion. In the Chronicles of Narnia, it's the lion, Aslan, who expresses the Lion of Judah, Jesus. Huge, shaggy, bright, it stood in the risen sun. Its mouth was wide open in a song. It's about 300 yards away, and as he walked and sang, the valley grew green with grass. It spread out from the lion like a pool. It ran up the sides of the little hills like a wave. Soon there were other things besides grass. The slopes grew dark with heather, and when he burst into a rapid series of lighter notes, she was not surprised to see primroses suddenly appearing in every direction. But now the song had changed once more. It was more like what we would call a tune, but it was also far wilder. It made you want to run and jump and climb. Showers of birds came out of the trees. Butterflies fluttered. Bees got to work on the flowers as if they hadn't a second to lose. And now you could hardly hear the song of the lion. There was so much cawing, cooing, crowing, braying, neighing, baying, barking, lowing, bleating, and trumpeting. Then there came a swift flash like a fire, but it burnt nobody, either from the sky or from the lion itself. And every drop of blood tingled in the children's bodies. And the deepest, wildest voice they had ever heard was saying, "Narnia, Narnia, Narnia, awake, love, think, speak, be walking trees, be talking beasts, be divine waters." What if God sings every morning, sings the sun up, sings along with the birds, sings the stars into and out of the skies, sings over you? It is good. What science is unable to tell us, the Bible cries out over and over and over, good. This moment is good. For you to be alive is a very good thing. This is from the Bible, from the prophet Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 17. Here's the word for you today. The Lord your God is with you, the mighty warrior who saves. He will take great delight in you. In his love, he will no longer rebuke you, but will rejoice over you with singing. End of teaching. Beginning of your day with God.
Thanks for joining us. My name is Tim. I'm a part of the team here at Become New. If you'd like to receive the emails that go along with each video, you can let us know at becomenew.com/subscribe. Or if you'd like to receive a text alert whenever we release a new video, you can text the word BECOME to the number 855-888-0444. If you have a prayer request, please let us know. You can text that request to that same number, 855-888-0444. There's a group of us who meet every day to pray over those requests. So we look forward to hearing from you. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.